In our news bulletin for this evening, locals voice concerns over the recent application of user charge and payment policies at the new hospital. A deliberate oil spill in areas at Tuila caused a slight stir for road users, but the matter has been resolved. The island has been placed on a water watch and advised to stop burning unnecessary fires that may get out of control. Vital statistics for the first half of this year shows a slight increase in the population. Tuapa women showcase their craftwork and gardens as a lead-up to the village show day this coming Saturday. Some locals are confused with the user charges at the New hospital that came into effect as of the 1st of July this year. According to the department, the policies are put in place to improve the efficiency of health services on Niue and also to recover costs of healthcare provided and contribute to sustainable health financing. The Minister from the Ministry of Social Services, Honourable Poto Sipeli, says that the user charges remain unchanged since 2006 but have not been implemented. The fees that have been applied are structured according to criteria based on residency and age. The user pay policy has been placed in two different classifications for those who are not local. Class 1 for all visiting Niueans residing permanently overseas and for those non-PRs. Class 2 includes all other visitors, whether they're tourists or contract workers. For overseas Niueans who decide to retire or move to Niue long term, they will be eligible for local fees after 3 months of continuous stay. The hospital charges apply to ward admissions, outpatient, inpatient, dental health services and other fees, but there is specific criteria and explanations detailed within an information booklet that has been developed. The only major change that will affect locals is the charge of a $5 fee for medication and treatment after hours that are not considered an emergency or are outside of the normal outpatient clinic hours. There are also some other items that will be charged, but an information booklet has been approved by Cabinet for public information that will hopefully clear up any misunderstandings or misconceptions. The responsibility now is for the Health Department to closely monitor and enforce these changes. A deliberate oil spill in front of the Niue power station and a residential home at Tuila this week posed a road hazard and environmental concern. It is alleged that an individual placed oil on the road to dampen the dust. The oil is said to have been mistakenly released from the Niue powerhouse and caused a bit of difficulty for road users due to the slippery nature. According to a source from the Department of Utilities, they're looking at tightening their procedures to ensure that waste oil in storage for removal is not released in future to avoid such incidents. The Civil Inquiry Division, who maintain the roads on the island, responded to a number of public complaints and were able to fix the problem that people assumed was part of their roadworks. The division stated that the oil spill was not done by them, but they were able to cover the area. The Environment Department commented that this deliberate release of oil is not good practice and that the department normally assists in the removal of waste oil, but not necessarily in instances such as this. The issue was resolved and Makasea was used to cover the area affected. In the past month, the number of fires burning out of control has increased due to dry conditions, lack of rainfall and strong winds. This is a concern for the Disaster Management Council, especially for the potential damage and loss of plantations, residential homes and lives. It has become apparent that some individuals have unintentionally burnt fires that have spread, and in an attempt to put them out, they in turn put themselves at risk. There have been fires that have caused some danger to residential areas, requiring some assistance from the fire department on the island. Chief of Police Tony Edwards voiced concern and advised the public to use common sense when starting fires, to be diligent and ensure that they do not get out of control. There is also a regional drought potential advisory based on rainfall over the past 6 months that has been low, and recently the Niue Meteorological Office issued a water watch for the island with well below normal rainfall expected from September to November. That will mean limited water resources. Tending to fires would add pressure to this resource, so it would be best not to burn fires, and the council is not in a position to pose a fire ban at this point in time. The public have been advised to follow the necessary procedures when coming across a fire, to inform the fire department, and not to try and put the fire out on their own or put themselves at risk. The Statistics Division have released the vital statistics for the first half of this year up until June, with a natural increase to the population of 6. This latest statistic report, dated from January to June 2015, provides insight on the total of births, deaths, marriages, and other factors of the population in the last 6 months. There were 14 babies born in the 6-month gap from January to June. 7 females and 7 males were delivered. 1 baby boy was born in New Zealand, and the rest were delivered at New Hospital. By the end of June, a total of 8 deaths were recorded, 4 females and 4 males. The youngest death recorded between the ages of 15 to 24. A majority of the deaths were caused by medical illness, and there were no child or infant mortalities. 3 deaths were recorded in Hakupu, 2 deaths were recorded in Alofi South and Makefu, and 1 in Alofi North. A total of 7 marriages took place in Niue in the past 6 months. 3 marriages took place in February, 2 in January, and 1 each in April and May. A majority of the marriages were visitors to the island. The current population remaining on the island since December 2014 was 1,627, and 99 residents were overseas. The current population is 1,676 and 132 residents overseas. The next lot of statistics will be compiled in December 2015. Tuapa's women's group put on a showcase today for their craft work in gardens. The Whale Pipi Hall was buzzing with eager visitors, keen to buy some of the handicrafts, but the best had already been pre-sold. Women's representative Bonnie Pingia says that the women have always come together to prepare the craft work, but the floral arrangements will be left to be displayed on the actual show day, along with other pieces for people to view. However, for the judging this year, the group decided to limit the items that they would have judged according to age categories. For the young schoolgirls, they made floral hairpieces or haze. For the young adults, they were able to make door hangers from different resources, whilst the older women of the village focused on the matalili or table mats. On top of that, there were a few hats on display, mats, fabric creations, and baskets that were also up for sale. The menfolk were tasked with the responsibility to judge and identify the best based on set criteria and what looked appealing to the eye. Tuapa set for their village show day this coming Saturday. And that concludes our news bulletin for this evening.